Good afternoon. Sorry for the delay. We had some other issues that we were discussing. Today's meeting, January 19th. We have on my left here, Commissioner Rod Drexel. On my next one down, Commissioner Vance Joshua. Next one would be Commissioner Roger Higgins. Next one would be Executive Director Tara Sullivan.
Deputy.
What did I say?
It's okay.
Promotion.
Promotion.
She bosses me around all day.
Sorry about that, Joseph and Tara.
Thank you.
We have John Bellucci, Deputy Chief Staff. And we have Carl Whitback, our counsel. And we have our Executive Director. Did I get that right? Joseph Ruggiero. And myself was acting as chairman today, Richard Jarentine. With that, I'd like to have the government's committee meeting agenda, which would be myself, Mr. Higgins, and Mr. Lassler. We had a meeting on September 19th. We have the minutes here. Any questions on that?
I move to adopt the minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have the annual report of the governance committee, which will basically evaluate various things through the bridge authority and make recommendations to the full board.
I move we send the annual report to the full board for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Authorization of 2011 confidential evaluation of board performance survey of commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, this is a annual requirement of the Authority Budget Office. We'll follow the same procedures as we did last year. I can distribute the survey to the board members and provide them with a response that'll come directly to me. I'll tabulate those responses and report back to the Governance Committee in February for the Governance Committee's authorization to file it with the Authority Budget Office.
Any questions? If not, motion to have.
So moved,
Bellucci do
Mr.
that?
Chairman.
Second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any other business regarding the governance committee?
Move
If not,
adjourn.
motion to adjourn? Yep, so moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep.
And thank you, John, for your work.
This time, we have our minutes of our meeting that was held on December 22nd. Any questions?
I move we accept minutes of
Second.
the December 22nd meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
If not, roll call. After that, all right. Next, we have Mr. Russo.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Very well, thanks. The item on your agenda under administration is that we received our invoice for our annual assessment from the Easy Pass Interagency Group, of which we're a full voting member for 2012. The invoice is $17,500, and it remains unchanged from prior years. So I have a resolution for you to authorize our payment of our annual invoice.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to note that we have an amended board meeting agenda here today. Do we have a motion, or want to make a motion to have that amended? We added our, on operations number 6, the armored car service, and Roman numeral number 6 on old business toll rate change public communication. With those two
I move we accept the
amended.
Second.
amended board meeting agenda.
Everybody agree?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, Bill?
Well, we have a very short, single resolution for you today, just our jobs in progress. We finished up the camera installation for the Coast Guard grant effort, a little bit under budget and on time. We don't have anything else active right now, so it's kind of a quiet report.
I'm sure that'll change very quickly in the next couple of months, right?
We hope so, yeah.
Did you have a nice vacation?
Yeah, it was quiet.
Move we accept the engineering report?
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Next, we have financials. Brian?
What afternoon?
Pretty much. First up, we have the investment report. As noted, due to our inability to obtain an investment within pretty much 4 or 5 months that would yield positive, we made no investments in the month of December. In addition to that, turn to the next page. Basically, if you look at the investment inventory, while this is normally the lowest point in time of the year because the payments made on the bonds in January, this reflects how low we've gotten in the maintenance reserve fund, and we badly needed a total increase. Fortunately, it's coming the end of the month. If you turn to the next page, the interest income and yield, while we're staying fairly consistent, it's not a material move. Obviously, we are seeing declines because of our ability to go and earn interest on investments. It's just not what it was for some of the investments that we're getting rid of, as well as the dollar value of assets we have available to make investments with is very small at this point. That's pretty much it.
Any questions? If not, people will make a motion to accept.
Like Mike said, it's the first time in all the years on Bridge Authority, I've never seen a treasury report. We had no investments. We're that rock bottom. It shows the seriousness of this economy, but where we needed that total increase a month ago.
To be fair, it's really two things. If we had had the ability to make positive yielding investments, we would have had one, okay, being for the maintenance reserve fund. But interest rates being at historically low levels, I was told in December that the first positive yielding maturity was in May or June of this year, okay, which is historically unprecedented.
Very
Yeah.
No,
Do we get any interest on our checking account?
no. But they don't charge us anything.
Accident report?
Accident report is be the next item.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Need a motion second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Brian, accident report, fourth quarter, 2010.
Fourth quarter 2011, we had 59 accidents in the quarter, the same with the prior year. We had 2 accidents involving authority vehicles, both of which we were at fault. We counseled the drivers of both vehicles on the operation of the vehicles. For the full year, we were noticeably higher. We had 225 accidents versus 180. In 2010, it approximately results in 255,000 crossings for each accident. There's no action by the board required.
Any questions? If not,
Accidents are consistent.
Thank you, Brian.
Even they're flat.
Fred, no report, Fred, Human Resources?
No, we're fine.
All right.
Year over year.
Greg, Information Technology?
Good afternoon. Doing good. Thank you. I just have 2 reports for this month. The first is the Security Monthly Procurement Report. We had no expenses for the month, and the project is drawing to a close. We're down to a couple of particular items left to do, and we should be finished up by this time next month with the overall project. And that does not require any action on the board. And jobs in progress. For the month, we're still waiting to get the cameras for Newburgh Beacon Bridge installed. These are the replacement cameras to replace defective units out. And that's about all we have going on.
Greg, does this mean we're going to spend $200,000-300,000 less on the project than you thought?
What this amount was, this was the amount you had approved for Joe to expedite purchases. As to the total amount on the project, we're still waiting for the final numbers to come in. I've got to get together with Bill Moreau to sit down and look at exactly where we're going to land. So at this point, I'm not prepared to say how much I'm going to. That's it. There is a resolution with this.
Someone like to move it, please?
I move we accept the jobs in progress.
Second.
Resolution.
Second.
All in favor? Say aye.
Thank you.
Next, Wayne. Oh, Brian,
I'm going to sit down for
okay.
Wayne. Sit in for Wayne.
It's in training for Homeland Security.
Okay, Wayne had two items this month, the first of which was the award for the Armored Courier Service. An RFP was submitted or published in December. We received basically one response back. It's our current provider. The prior billing rate per trip was $24.50, but because of increases in the cost of fuel, effectively we were being billed $27.50 anyway. The new rate is going to come in at $27.50 per trip. We're asking for an amount not to exceed, an approval of an amount not to exceed of $30,000 and $30,030 per year. Sorry, there's no comment in here.
Brian, just a question.
Yes.
When I read this over, I'm looking at Wilmington, North Carolina, and Maryland. They actually requested the RFPs, right?
Right. He had several people request the RFP, but really only one proposal.
Yeah. All right. I got it. I move the resolution.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Next, project, Nightwatch.
Okay, the next issue, or the next item would be our consulting services agreement for Dr. Ted Makovich. Effectively, we had a contract in place for him associated with Project Nightwatch. We had a number of issues develop with this project that, as you're all familiar with, we had the addendum to the TRIMI contract last month, and as a result of that, Ted Makovich has now been asked to perform more functions than he had been originally. Several of the reasons for the additional amount include extended contract negotiations, that it required additional hours from Ted to support those. He had to develop vendor schedule revising. He worked with us on the revisions to identify contract milestones, and he's working with us extensively in making sure that the vendor achieves those milestones. There's substantially more vendor compliance review than had been anticipated, and he also is, in an effort to try to expedite the process, we asked him to come up with a new specification for another vendor, the vendor being TTI, that would allow us to go live faster with the ATPM project in a, we'll call it ATPM Lite initially, and then there will be a second revision. So what we're asking for here is not to spend the entire amount. This is to come up with an amount not to exceed, with our goal being not to spend the entire amount.
What do we have in our budget?
In our budget, this exceeds it a bit. We will find a way to make this work. Okay, ultimately there will be offsets as a result of savings from the project. Okay.
Any other questions? Now we have a
So moved.
resolution. So move it. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Brian. Executive Director's report.
I have no expenses to report for this month. You have the traffic and classification comparison report, the staff put together. And we have the governance committee annual report. That has to be acknowledged by the full board.
I'm good on now. The governance committee report. Except the full board.
There's no formal,
Oh, there's no
formal procedure other than just making note of it for the record.
Right, then you have it and reviewed it for.
Just acknowledge that you received it and placed it on file.
Okay. In a form of a motion, or just?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna make that in a form of a motion? What?
I move we approve the annual report and
Have it on file.
have it on file.
Rob?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, any presentations to the board? Nope. Going once, going twice, no, nobody? Any new business? Someone wants to bring up anything regarding new business? Old business? Toll rate thing?
Yeah, as you know, on January 30th, the toll rates go into effect. We had started a pre-campaign to that, so there wouldn't be so-called sticker shock of the booth to the toll collectors. Each of the bridges have VMS signs put in place, as well as the toll collectors have been given pamphlets to give out to folks coming through the Easy Pass, through the cash lanes. And they asked about the rates, and I spoke with Chairman Basilio last week. One of the things we wanted to do was, and we've contracted to do this resolution, confirms that discussion, is we're going to go up in radio for a full week during the commuter hours, promoting the Easy Pass discounts that are available, in recognition of the upcoming toll increases, encouraging folks to sign up for Easy Pass to get the benefit of that discount program and talk about the commuter plan. So all that's done, contracts, this resolution kind of confirms the action that I sought approval from the chairman from last week.
Any questions? No?
No, it's good.
There is a resolution.
People are all in agreement, so I understand why we're doing it.
Well, we have, even with it being out there and with all the stories, we've just had, 4 or 5 phone calls since the public hearing about the toll increase. But the toll collectors are getting questions in the booths. We're keeping stats of it. It's like almost 500 people a day in Newburgh are inquiring about it, and we're handing out cards. So the public is aware.
And I think one of the key points of the advertising on the radio ad is that it's better for travelers and it's better for us if they use Easy Pass.
Oh, sure.
And we're promoting that for it is the big change. The real big change is obviously there's a toll increase, but for the first time we have a difference in rates between Easy Pass and paying in cash. Because it costs us more to collect the cash, as you all know. We want to make sure the public is, as much as possible, knows that there is a discount for using Easy Pass, and we're encouraging them to get Easy Pass. Our Easy Pass usage here runs about 60%, give or take. Our understanding is that some of the other authorities where, there's a difference in toll rate, they run in excess of 75% Easy Pass usage. If we could get up into that range, it would be beneficial for the authority in terms of our overhead and costs and efficiencies, plus the folks are going to save money. So that's the real focus of the radio advertisement.
Are we prepared with changes in signage?
It's already up.
Yes.
Okay.
The VMS signs have been up, and we've got the signs ready to pull down on the
Good.
Yeah, at midnight the signs will change over
Okay.
formally, but there are secondary signs advertising it now.
I'm thinking of people, especially on 84, that are traveling from Connecticut, from Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
The local people hopefully will be aware.
There's a resolution
Yep.
here.
Go on, Roger, move the resolution.
Move the resolution for the expenditure be approved.
Second.
Any roll call? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No attorney-client privilege.
Not in order now.
The next meeting is February 16th. It's 3 o'clock. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.